Caitlin Clark is 100% the reason the WNBA is more entertaining right now.
This is another WNBA conversation, and it has been going on for like a week now. All about Caitlin Clark, and there has been conversation that they do not like her and that she's getting a lot of hate from her other players. There are some coming from a place that WNBA is only marketing her, and they are showing who they like the most, and as well, white privilege is in play. There are other people saying the players do not like her at all, and this sparked a whole conversation. Some are saying if so many people do not like her, then maybe she is the problem and we should look at it from that angle. And some are saying that they just clearly hate her because she is very, very good. This conversation has been going on for like a week. Even LeBron James and Charles Barkley had to come in. Some are saying the WNBA are the one who set Caitlin up for all the hate that she's getting. Do you think people hate Caitlin Clark so much? I have put together all of these things that these people are saying about this conversation. And without wasting much time, let's just get right into it.
2024 has been lit so far. I don't know what's going on with all that beef, the drama, the back and forth, but it's been entertaining. Hopefully, I'm not saying her name wrong. Kennedy Carter, she gave her take on Caitlin Clark's style of play, and this is what she had to say. She said, besides the three-point shooting, what does she bring to the table, man? Now, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all call this hating? Like, is she hating on Caitlin Clark? Or is she just telling y'all what she sees from Caitlin Clark as a player? Because if we're being completely honest, Caitlin Clark does shoot a lot of threes. She really shoots mid-ranges. She get a layup or two every once in a while, but she's a three-point layup type of person. Now, I already know what most of you are about to say in the comments. Nobody knows Kennedy Carter. Everybody knows Caitlin Clark. She's the reason people watch WNBA now. I know. But all I want to know is, do Kennedy Carter have a point in saying what she said? Besides the three-point shooting, what does she bring to the table? Now, we all know Caitlin Clark is a good player. No, we're not going to take that away from her. She's a good shooter. She can pass the ball well. These are things we already know. But for all of the people who have been watching Caitlin Clark the last 2 years, is the three-point shot the only thing Caitlin Clark brings to the table? Let me know in the comment section.
It is absolutely impossible to talk about the coverage of the WNBA, and specifically Caitlin Clark and the rest of the Rockies, without looking at it from the prism of sexism, racism, and capitalism. I don't care what Emmanuel Acho says. From a sexist perspective, women's basketball is and always has been a rough sport. But since it's not been widely consumed by so many of the new people who are coming in to watching the WNBA, they're confused because you have a sexist ideology about how women should perform and behave, which is not consistent with the court because basketball is still a sport. Then you have the racism, the way that Angel Reese and other black players are talked about, specifically in regards to their rough play, has deeply racist roots. And also then the need to protect Caitlin in the way that it is described by some people that she must be protected has really racist roots. Then from a capitalistic standpoint, Caitlin is talked about in the volume that she's talked about because she's an asset to sports media and to the WNBA. LeBron James is my favorite player of all time. LeBron James gets talked about in August when no basketball is happening. Why? Because when LeBron is mentioned, then there are clicks. When LeBron is mentioned, the people tune in. It's a very similar thing with Caitlin. Now, personally, from a basketball standpoint, I think Caitlin Clark is Michael Jordan in the 80s. Hear me out. I should say the mid-80s, his first 3 or so years, where he's just uber talented and is garnering all this attention because of his talent, but he is not strong enough, and he's getting beat up by the Pistons and the Celtics specifically. The reality is Caitlin Clark's not strong enough yet. That's fine. She's just not strong enough. Now, the NBA eventually changed the rules in order to protect what they saw as an asset because no one would argue anything other than the fact that Michael Jordan made basketball more profitable. And I think if we're honest, Caitlin Clark is making the WNBA more profitable. And yet, Michael had to get in the gym. He had to figure out how to grow and get better. I think Caitlin needs to grow and get better. She's also a rookie. She can experience a level of scrutiny that LeBron experienced. I mean, there's levels to this. And so I think we have to look at it from a sexist perspective. We have to look at it from a racist perspective. We have to look at it from a capitalist perspective. And from a basketball perspective, she's going to get better. She is. It's just going to happen, but she actually needs to work at it. And I think the game should maintain its level of physical aggression because that's what the WNBA has been. And I'm saying that as a person who really enjoys the WNBA since the Houston Comets were out there winning championships. I'm from Minnesota. The only championship teams that we've had here are the Lynx. And Maya Moore's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen, regardless of gender. And also I've been in love with Candace Parker since I saw her dunk in the dunk contest. So I just want to put all this in context. She'll get better. She needs to get better. But there are systems at play here. Thanks for coming to my TAP Talk.
Câitlin Clark is 100% the reason the WNBA is more entertaining right now. Listen up. Angel Reese, Miss Carter, she got the same last name, whoever. If you want to be more entertaining, if you want the same clout as what she's getting, go work on your jump shot. It's simple. Shawty be raining threes like Curry. She be hitting shots from the logo. Okay? If you want the same acknowledgement, work on your jump shot. It's simple. She's better than the white girls and the black girls. This is not even hate. This is objective. I know most of my content is music, and that can be subjective for the most part. In sports, there are people that are just better. It is what it is, but you could get better too. Go work on your shots. Get in the gym like Kobe and shoot up. Get shooting. Like, this is simple. This is simple. People are watching games now because of Câitlin Clark and the way she's shooting threes. In the NBA, now everybody's shooting threes. Even the big man. It is literally because the way she shoots. All she brings it to the table is three-point shooting. Well, 3 is worth more than 2. Okay? She's more entertaining. I don't care. I don't care, white or black. She's better than all of y'all in the league. All of y'all. Get your shots up. All love.
I'm getting sick of people saying that people need to stop hating on Câitlin Clark. Who hates her? Diana Taurasi came out and said, look, it's going to be an adjustment when Câitlin gets to the WNBA. Y'all watch. And that's exactly what's happening. Angel Reese did the ring gesture to Câitlin, and y'all have villainized her ever since. And her and Câitlin literally like each other. They have both come out and said so. Her teammates are walking her through things, putting chains on her, dancing with her. They love her. At any sign of criticism, or when a WNBA player is like, hey, maybe Câitlin and the Minnesota Lynx shouldn't be the only ones with charter planes. Maybe the 2-time MVP shouldn't be riding to her game on a bus. Maybe you should let our owners get us our own planes if we can't provide planes for everybody. Or when people say, hey, it doesn't make sense that Nike hasn't given Asia Wilson a shoe because she has accomplished so much. She has statues of her, like she has a huge fan base. When Câitlin has been in the WNBA for 10 minutes and she already has a multi-million-dollar contract. And now that people have complained about it, Asia's getting her shoe, Câitlin's getting her shoe, we can all eat and be happy. If you actually listen to WNBA players, they are so happy that Câitlin's in the league and that things are changing and that there are eyes on the league. But y'all think they're going to lower their level of play and not guard her as hard so they can ride on a plane or do this or that? No, they're not going to do that. These are professional basketball players that have been in the league for much longer and have been through things, playing in barns, like to play the sport that they love. I'm not a WNBA player, so I can't speak for them, but I don't think they're in it for the glitz and the glam and all that other bullshit. They want to be the best. They want to play. They want to compete. But honestly, I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad that big outlets like TNT and people like LeBron James are speaking on the W. And I'm glad that they're spreading these drama narratives, to be honest, because it's just making more people pay attention. And the more people pay attention, the more players that they'll learn about. Câitlin Clark is not the only WNBA player. And I'm sure that her and all the other WNBA players are in the locker room literally laughing at everybody's tweets and takes and outrage and shit. Like, we like each other. What the fuck are these people talking about? There has never been more eyes on the WNBA as there are right now. I see people hating on Aaliyah Boston and stuff, but you know what? That's a price that comes with growth. That comes with fame. It happens to NBA players. It happens everywhere. And that's just, it's starting to come with the W. But at some point or another, we're going to have to make it about the basketball again and stop making it about like, oh, petty girl drama. Everybody's so jealous. The WNBA and its growth is going to have bumps in the road. Câitlin is not going to come into the league and be the best player on day one. It just was never going to happen. Why can't y'all just enjoy things? Why everything got to be a controversy or a drama? Like, damn.
I'm not in the WNBA, right? But I do know girls and I do know basketball. So I have some opinions on why I think Câitlin Clark might be getting so much hate in the WNBA from WNBA players. And it's because of something I noticed that she does since like NCAA when she was playing for college. She complains a lot to the refs. She plays with the refs. She talks to them, she looks at them, she complains to them, she whines to them all the time, like for any game and every game. And for me as a basketball player, like, just play. Like, yeah, I get you might be feeling like you're targeted or whatever, but like, bro, just play. Like, stop looking for help, because no one's gonna respect that. Whether you deserve it or not, no one's gonna respect you looking for help. So that's why I feel like WNBA players are like low-key don't really like her, because like other rookies, especially like Angel Reese and like whatever, they're getting the same type of like aggression when they're playing. Like, everyone's like going at them, and that's because women are women and they don't like to feel threatened. Angel Reese, Câitlin Clark, they're bringing like mad attention to the WNBA, and the older players are butthurt about it. Let's be real, that's how girls are. Like, we all know that. But the reason why I can kind of get behind everyone like not really liking Câitlin Clark is because since game one, anything happened. And she's a flopper, bro. She's like a crazy flopper. Like, and I'm not saying you didn't get contact. I'm saying the contact that you got did not require you to flop. Either that or you got to get in the weight room, because there's no way you should be flopping this hard. But like, she's good. Like, Câitlin Clark is really, really, really good at basketball, and I feel like that should be enough. Like, I don't know if she expected to get to the WNBA and still, like, you know, not be getting the type of contact, type of foul she's getting or whatever, but like, she's good enough to not like cry for calls every single possession, every single play. Like, I just never liked that ever as a female basketball player. Talking to the refs, like involving them in the game, like, I don't know, I don't like that. And like the two interviews, one where Câitlin is literally saying like, oh, I'm getting bullied out there and all that, and complaining about like all the contact she's getting and all the like, you know, hard fouls or whatever. And Angel Reese on the other side is like, that's basketball. Like, I appreciate y'all not going soft on me, because how do you get better? But I'm not going to sit here and act like she's not, like, Câitlin Clark's not getting, like, targeted, because it's very clear that she is. But, like, in the back of my head, if that was happening to me, I'd be like, all right, like, let's get tough. Let's get, you know, like, let's, instead of, like, crying to mom and dad, like, oh, my God, they're fouling me so hard. Like, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm not moving. I'm taking pride in that. Hit me. I'm not moving. I'm not falling. Like, whatever. And like I said, maybe get in the weight room. But she's a professional athlete. She's definitely in the weight room.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't never seen this much WNBA coverage in my entire life. And for the past couple years, they were complaining about the viewership and how they weren't getting any attention. And now that they finally have that attention, I gotta be honest, I thought this was gonna be a completely different reaction. Instead of everybody being like, yeah, we're finally here, we're getting views and shit, the people involved with the WNBA are getting mad and shit, saying, where were y'all to begin with? I'm fairly certain that this is the very first time that First Take has brought on a WNBA journalist to speak about the WNBA. And this isn't the outcome that they expected, bro. He was trying to talk about how Câitlin Clark was getting battered in every single game. And she came in, dismissed whatever he was talking about, and then said, bro, how come you're showing us fake love right now? Where was this before? It's funny as shit too, because these talk shows have no clue how to talk about women's sports right now. They can't necessarily say the same things that they would usually say. Earlier, Pat McAfee was talking his shit, saying that the WNBA should be grateful because they would never have this type of coverage if it wasn't for a certain white bitch. And oh my God, they was going crazy over the fact he said that shit. He's kind of speaking facts too, because most people tune into the sport to watch her and then branched out to the other team. There's a lot of drama going on right now because it seems like it's a tough pill to swallow that's just the fact, you feel me? Angel Reese is saying that people aren't tuning in just because of Câitlin Clark, it's because of her too.
I never in my life thought I was ever going to care about women's sports because I don't even watch men's sports, yet here I am, caring about it. Câitlin Clark-Angel Reese rivalry is what made the WNBA relevant. This rivalry transferred over from college to the WNBA. So now that women's basketball is relevant, and Câitlin Clark is good, and all of the viewers are coming from this rivalry, of course Câitlin Clark is going to be hated on. That's how sports works. Stop trying to make this about race, and somebody said this perfectly. Câitlin Clark is not Jackie Robinson. Can we stop the cap? You don't experience racism, maybe to like a minor degree, but for the most part, you're just experiencing haters, like any other person who's good at a sport. But I do want to point out that she never said it had anything to do with the race, so this is not even an attack on her. But hating on people and rivalries is part of sports. That's what makes it fun. The tribalism where people rally behind their favorite player and hate on their rivals. That's what makes it fun. Let's look at like the tribalism behind something like the Conor McGregor and Khabib fight. Are we going to start pretending like that was about race? You're a professional athlete who's good at your sport, and now that your sport is relevant, you're going to get hated on. Angel Reese also gets hated on. Can we stop the cap? If you don't want haters and you don't want tribalism, then you can take your sport back to irrelevancy.
Yeah, I don't know what these WNBA players think they're doing. I don't know what has been shoved so far up there to where they think that they can bully Câitlin like they have been. I hope Câitlin gets the dog in her. I hope she starts doing, I can give you some tips, girl, of some slick stuff you could do that the refs won't see. I'm not even like a huge Câitlin Clark fan, but I've played basketball my whole life. My sister was a professional basketball player. She's coached me. My mom played basketball. My sister knows WNBA players. I know some. I've played against Paige Beckers. So I, have a different outlook on it. I want everything and more for women's basketball. I want all these women to succeed. I hope they're all happy. I hope they're all thriving. I hope the league continues to grow. I'm excited for the new team that they're adding. But it doesn't seem like the players that are currently in the WNBA feel the same way. Obviously not all of them, but a lot of y'all are haters. And I don't know what some of these players think that they're doing by purposely trying to hurt Câitlin Clark. And her teammates don't like her. We can see that on the court. They do not have her back. She's been plowed by screens over and over again, and y'all are not going to tell me that professional basketball players are going to continue to let one of their players get plowed by screens constantly. You do not see that. That's basic communication at a professional level. The fouls, the intentional fouls that are continuously being committed against Câitlin is ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but this girl has the weight of the world on her back. And if you guys don't understand that, of course she's going to be angry. Of course, she just looks so, tired. She looks so defeated because I feel like nobody has her back. And it's really making me sad. This girl alone has changed everybody in the WNBA's salary. Do you think it's a coincidence that the year she gets drafted is the same year that they're adding another team? The WNBA organization knows that the league is growing, and Câitlin Clark is going to be, I hope she is the greatest player in the WNBA. Honestly, because of all the shit talking, I hope she just becomes a dog. But the Kennedy girl, I don't even want to say her full name because I really don't want to give her the clout that she's looking for, because she's looking to get followers based off of everybody who hates Câitlin Clark as well, and she's chasing clout. Girl, you have done nothing for women's basketball, and you're not even good. So you are the last person to be asking Câitlin Clark, what does she bring to the table? That is literally insanity to me. And it's also sad that this is the representation as women that we are now giving. The first time that one of our sports has been big like this is the representation that we're showing. Because I'm sorry, I don't know if any of these WNBA players think that they're making some sort of statement, but we can all see that you're just being a fucking hater. If the WNBA knows what's good for them, the coaches will get their players in order, honestly. I just never like to see the bullying of another person, and I don't care who it is. And obviously I understand things like rookie treatment, but this is beyond rookie treatment. This is literally abuse. And mind you, I've fought in games before. I mean, we played in the back end of Chicago in a hot gym with no AC with hood teams. I didn't play some games, so I understand that the game can be rough, but there's levels to it. Y'all are literally playing games with this woman. And also, this is a professional league. This isn't in the cut in Chicago. These players are playing like they're playing in the AAU. This is not AAU. This is the WNBA. This is a professional league. Can y'all act like it and actually support each other? Because this is y'all job at this point. This isn't no pickup basketball. This is y'all job. And if anything, as women, y'all should be supporting each other full on. But hating, this level of hating is really, really frustrating. WNBA, please get it together, because I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I don't even want to watch the game if this is how y'all are going to act.
This conversation of Câitlin Clark is not new. If you have been following the news, if you have been watching people's commentary about their games, you will know that it's not new. Before, it has always been Câitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. And I feel like because of the fact that the conversation surrounding these two and how they are pitting these two against each other is making people, want to know what is going on with WNBA, want to check out what is happening in WNBA. I think this is the reason why they continue to encourage this thing. And I feel like a lot of people are now tired of having thing to do this controversy thing. They just want to talk about the game. Because to be honest, now so many people are not talking about the game because of how, this conversation has been coming on, and because of how some fans have been reacting, and some of the things that we have been able to see on the media as well. Do you guys think people are hating on her for real, or do you think her fans are one of the reasons why she is getting so much hate? The video of Kennedy literally pushing her on the court, people have been saying no, they are targeting her, and WNBA is not doing a good job protecting her, that she is not safe. Let me hear what you guys think from what these teachers have talked about from their point. Let me hear what you guys think if you have been following this conversation. This person said, Câitlin Clark fans are a huge part of this. Notice Money Martin, Brink, etc. aren't having these issues integrating with their teammates, fellow W players. Another person said that Liberty game was a mess, but the Indiana coach is terrible. I also think she's not meshing with her team very well compared to other rookies this year, and that shows a lot on the court. A lot of people are saying she does not have a good relationship with the other teammates, and this is the reason why it seems like they don't want her there. This is the reason why it seems like they hate her. And if you guys remember, one of the teachers will mention the fact that whenever she's playing, she's always playing with the ref. Like, instead of her to play with her teammates, calling the attention of the refs every single time. This can be a big issue actually to the other players as well. Like, just play. Why do you always have to, call the refs to see this? Call the refs to check this out. Another one said, flopping and complaining. She's also trash talking, pushing off, and elbowing. A fan base commends anyone who plays her close. She said nothing when her fans threatened to unalive Aliyah. Some are saying the lady who pushed her was literally targeting her, and then people are coming in saying she has raw elbow order on the game. Like, this is something that happens to almost all of these players. You guys are making her seem like a victim so bad. Another person said she def plays victims, but whether people like it or not, players roughing her up is legit going to boost the WNBA more than ever. And Angel is also super important to this route. It has always been Angel versus Câitlin Clark, and I hate the fact that they are pitting these women against each other. Like, at this point, people are even tired of talking about controversy. They really want to have a conversation about the real game. This person said the WNBA is basketball plus drama. No one is understanding that. They have so much tea once you know the players. Fully, you all do not know that she has been talking smack and throwing elbows too, right? You all have like stuff is unprovoked. So many people are of the opinion that if the team players don't like her or they're acting a certain way to her, it's not like it's not like it's just coming out of nowhere, because she does the same thing as well. Well, they're trying to paint her as the victim here. Let me hear what you guys think. As you guys can see here, some people are on her side, some people are supporting her, some people are clearly saying they hate the fact that she plays the game well, and some people on the other side saying fans are to be blamed, acting like the victim and this and that. Let me hear your take on all of this in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one.